So, I have given this a lot of thought over the last few days. Just so you're warned, this video is going to be kind of just like a rant. It's all over the place and whatever, I don't care. I've been following a lot of these rapture dreams that people are having, and a lot of them are really interesting, and I don't discount anybody's dream. I appreciate their dreams and I'm respectful to the dream because it's subjective. You can't place judgment on a dream. I myself have many of them, as you know. However, I'm noticing a pattern. The pattern is that these rapture dreams, and I'm looking at the comments, and people are idolizing the rapture. It is becoming idolatry. And guess what? This is not just Christians either. This pertains to the New Age movement because the New Age has their version of the rapture called the event. And you have two interesting dynamics here that are basically very similar to one another. Both have the element of the new earth, the ascension process, the new heavenly bodies, and what have you, which is great. I'm the first person that wants that. Every day I wake up here, I'm like, damn, I am here again. It really, am I ever gonna get out? So I'm the first guy that would want a damn rapture myself. But the most common comment I see with these rapture dreams on these videos is, I can't wait to be with my Lord Jesus forever. And I asked some of these people, you can't wait to be with your Lord Jesus forever. Well, what is your plan? Do you have any goals, any ambitions? What are you striving for to learn as a soul, to grow, to evolve? When you go and sit there and hang out with Jesus by a creek forever, that's the first thing Jesus is going to ask you, what's next? You're not just going to sit here on your ass doing nothing. Trust me, I know a lot about sitting on my ass doing nothing. I'm kind of a lost soul here on this planet. Please forgive me. Okay? But having said that, a lot of people, when I asked that, couldn't even really answer the question. Like somebody said that, oh, well, it's better than burning for all eternity in hell. And I'm like, well, that's kind of a selfish attitude, isn't it? So you have a group of people that are up there in blissful, heavenly bliss, and then half your family members are being tormented and eaten alive and tortured in the depths of the abyss. And you're just going to sit there and not give a crap about your family members. Something doesn't add up here, does it? And guess what? So we have this event, right? And I'm kind of all over the place. And like, I was really into this, man. I really thought, and by the way, before I go any further, the mediator between the event of the New Age and the rapture of the Bible is iPad Go 2, which is kind of the midpoint of how to understand these things. Because iPad Go 2 sort of subtly also shows a sort of awakening in the form of a birth of a new earth, right? Having said that, I'm noticing like these people are just idolizing the idea of the rapture, and they're idolizing Jesus too. Okay, I know this is controversial and people are going to hate me for saying this, but they're idolizing the anthropomorphic version of Christ, obsessing over Christ. It's fine. It's fine to believe. It's fine to hold on. It's fine to have faith. But when you're just yearning for that rapture, it becomes idolatry. And I know this firsthand because this is what I was yearning for back in 2017, 2018, when I was fooled big time by this one lady who was doing these hypnosis sessions. And she was saying that this event and there's going to be rainbows in the sky, and the clouds are going to turn purple, and there's going to be all this plasma everywhere, and these flowing movements, and people are going to feel like butterflies, which I do believe to a certain degree that's partially true when the birth does take place. But in addition to that, you're going to have an absolutely cataclysmic destruction on top of that, which the New Agers don't really like to get into because it's all fluffiness and happiness. But unfortunately, it's really not. Um, Having said that, yeah, so in the hypnosis sessions, they were telling her it's going to come in the first quarter of 2018, this event, 100%. And she kept getting this session one after another, supposedly. And then it never happened. And then they said, oh, it'll happen in the last quarter of 2018. And then it never happened. So it's kind of like these rapture dreams. There was multiple people having dreams of a rapture taking place both on October 10th and October 31st. Now, does that mean that something's going to happen on Halloween? No. It means it probably won't. Except for maybe stuff like iPad Go 2 stuff. That's a lot more likely. And remember my November timeline. But even that, take that with a tremendous grain of salt, because I put the chance of something happening in terms of the actual birth this November, meaning the great catastrophe, 5%. I'll give it a 5% chance it'll happen this November. I'll give it a 10% chance it'll happen in 2021. By 2024, I'm pretty confident the chances are going to be over 50% that this event is finally going to transpire, which will kind of thrust us into this process. Probably not through an ascension, but through actually leaving our bodies and incarnating on this new earth. There will be very few people, I believe, that will actually metamorphosize into the new earth. Having said that, you see the pattern here? We have a deception on one end and a deception on the other. Who are throwing us these dreams? Who are throwing us these hypnosis sessions? It has to be something kind of malevolent, or at the very least a trickster, right? So that's what I mean when you can't really trust anything in this matrix. Because underlying everything, there's a little bit of poison. There's a little bit of poison there, even though it's 99% truth. There's a little bit of poison there too. So there was a cult the other day, I forgot their name of, which is funny because I drive by their house almost every day on the way back from work, where they all committed suicide. That's the Heaven's Gate cult. So I'm going to drive by their house tonight, right in Rancho Santa Fe. And speaking of which, that's kind of another great example of this deception where, Marshall Applewhite, the leader, for many years told his followers, for those of you that don't know who they are that much, they're a cult called the Heaven's Gate that kind of collectively, a group of 39 people committed suicide in a large mansion right down the street from where I am now, a place called Rancho Santa Fe, one of the wealthiest areas in the whole country. And they basically tainted the name of that neighborhood after that event, didn't they? So he was saying, like, their idea was basically that they wanted the perfect extraterrestrial form. They wanted to become the perfect being that didn't have any attachments, that did not love, that didn't need love, that didn't need any human pleasure. They were basically like trying to become like robots. And they idolized this form of this extraterrestrial that they yearned to become. And so for many years, this guy, Marshall Applewhite, told his followers that you don't need to die to transform into your perfect alien form. That it could happen in this lifetime. And guess what? That idea didn't work now, did it? But how was he able to manipulate his followers to actually buy into the idea that they can kill themselves and do it. That is extraordinary. People will really they'll just fall for anything. After being brainwashed for a long time, you'll fall for anything. I guess my point of this video is like, it's not really about discernment. It's so hard to even have discernment in this realm. Like I said before, I don't even trust my own heart. I don't trust what comes into my own mind. But we gotta constantly search for that neutral point. Not straight too far to the left, not straight too far to the right. And in that neutral point, there's glimmers of hope sometimes that the real truth comes to you. Look, I want the rapture to be real. It will be to a certain degree. It's not going to be like how people think. And there will be not one, but there will probably be multiple raptures in conjunction with the alien abductions that I've talked about. And not just in one time frame, but multiple time frames over the next decades, or leading up to this event, maybe the next few years. There'll probably be multiple of these raptures, which are going to exit your body, in my opinion. This form is not going to be over there in the next dimension. It's just not. This deception, I think the real God, the Alpha and the Omega, the Christ, is trying to teach us that we are not ready for that. As impatient as we are begging to be saved and rescued, time and time again a false date comes around because he's showing us that we as souls are not ready for something like that. It's childish behavior. It's spiritually childish. And I'm a victim of this myself. I'm guilty of childish behavior in every way, not just spiritually. 32 years old, sometimes I act like a damn kid. It's a lesson for us, a lesson in patience, and a lesson in gratitude. Gratitude that we don't have this cataclysm destroy everyone's life yet. Everyone's. To where you're going to have tens of millions, hundreds of millions of refugees wandering around aimlessly looking for help. It's good that it didn't happen yet. Okay, guys? It's good. Small chance in November. It increases on from there. We'll have this birth. Nobody knows exactly what it'll look like. We'll see. Let's give it some time. I don't know.